is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun. This is where the fun. This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hi!
I forgot what night it was. It's Friday night.
It is Friday, but it's a little different tonight.
Tonight's more like a Wayne's World night.
Yeah, it's a Friday Night Live at Toy Anxiety.
Well, basically what happened was quarterly, we started doing these. Hi, everybody. Hi to the chat. We started doing these State of Star Wars episodes, and we try to kind of pair them, at times when there's something big kind of happening in the Star Wars collecting world, and do a deeper dive. And Ryan, with this Cantina HasLab, I know you've been very passionate. You're an old school Cantina guy. You've been putting this collection together for what feels like years, and you're trying to do a service to the Star Wars collecting community.
I am, and again, State of Star Wars is not necessarily about the state overall of Star Wars. This is kind of like our own personal state of Star Wars, what we're collecting.
Right.
It's not always what's the newest, right? Because right now
Right.
I'm also collecting a lot of micro machines.
That's what we're talking about tonight.
Right, that's what we're talking. Yeah,
Micro Machines.
and there is a Micro Machines Cantina playset. When you crack open the 3PO head, and you get that in a docking bay, it's great. It's great. But we're actually not talking about that. But we are going to talk about the Cantina. So the whole point tonight is that I kind of put together a, just like this whole video is pretty much: are you backing the Cantina? Sure. Are you not? Are you thinking about it? Sure. And if you are, this is kind of more directed towards you if you're getting it, if you're purchasing it. And let's say you haven't been me for the last couple of years and just been like, you know what, I want a Cantina display, and started collecting all the Cantina patrons. So I put in the work for you. So tonight's actually me showing off all the versions of all the Cantina members that have been released, starting from Power of the Force 2, and then to the most recent. And also a heads up here too, I did not include any of the main characters, so because there's been a lot of Obi-Wans, of Luke.
Listen,
we don't need to go through all of them.
If you're considering buying the Cantina and your number one concern is, are they going to put out a new R2D2? You've got more things going on than we're going to be able to address tonight. But really, the whole point of this evening is to have some fun, do a bonus stream for the Toy Anxiety channel, but really dig deep, because the whole thing is, the HasLab Cantina is out. We're going to look at that page here in just a moment to kind of track how it's doing. We know that it has a couple exclusive figures that have never been released before, but you really have to look at the entire breadth of Star Wars since the mid-90s to really have a serious bar full of the Star Wars universe. I know that there's vintage collection purists out there who are going to say, if it doesn't have articulation, get it out of my nation. But there's going to be certain characters that only exist in like Power of the Force 2 or Power of the Jedi that maybe aren't going to get re-released anytime soon, or possibly ever. And
some of them are even used in the photos to promote it.
Right.
So there's that too.
So tonight's going to be a deep dive. It's going to get very nerdy, maybe nerdier than even normal for this show, but I think it's good. I think we're doing a service. Shout out to the chat. There's a bunch of people here already. For the sake of time and getting right into it, for our new people that are finding the channel for the first time, we will say hi to the chat, but we might do that a little bit later. What we do want you guys to do is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit those bell notifications, let YouTube know that this is content that you enjoy, because we want to do more one-off streams like this. We don't want Toy Anxiety to be once a week. We want a daily show. All right? Help us get there somehow.
Yeah, and on top, and if you do like this, if you watch this and you're like, hey, I want more, like, not even just Star Wars breakdowns. If you just want more collection breakdowns of, like, anything from like Spider-Man to Muppets to Chuck Norris, or real Ghostbusters, I mean, we'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
we'll go through and we'll help everybody out, because I love doing stuff like this. I love, like, really. I know I come off like such a dick sometimes on the stream and
No.
gatekeeping, but it is really just a gimmick, and I really want people to be able to get everything they need for the Cantina. And I want this stream to kind of be like a, hey, I can just watch this. I don't have to really do a lot of research, and we can just go through it.
It's more fun to be a heel, right?
And way more fun.
It's just way more fun.
Like, I get Randy Orton now. Like,
I understand the Viper.
I understand. I hear voices in my head too. It's
we will acknowledge super chats as they come in. Thank you, David Cabal. This is the OG Toy Anxiety. Love this. Yeah, what is this? Middle of the pandemic? This is crazy.
What is this? Month 1 of Toy Anxiety?
No, if it was month 1, then we would not be live streaming and we would definitely lose the recording. So
yes, that's right.
I feel like StreamYard wasn't even invented when we started this.
Right.
But anyways, okay, so why don't we start off maybe by looking at the current state of the Cantina crowdfund and where it's at?
Sure.
Does that sound like a good idea?
Absolutely. Are you sharing that? Or are you throwing that up?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. All right, so we're on what, day 5, day 4? We're at 4,754 backers with a target of 8,000. I think it's looking pretty good.
I think it's looking pretty good too. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's go through this. Let's see what the.
So let's see here. Yeah, 4,754. I think it's going to hit 8,000 in the last week. I think it's going to be a slow roll, but I think there's going to be a very large increase in the last couple of days, which tends to happen. Ryan, one thing I wanted to pick your brain. You are the subject matter expert this evening, so I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions. My first question is, there seems to be some negativity around
Star Wars?
around Star Wars. What's going on?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Here's my question. There's twins, all right? And there's the thread. No, we're not going down the acolyte roll today. But there seems to be some vocal negativity about this HasLab.
Mm-hmm.
But usually when there's a lot of negativity, it doesn't have the backers. But this has a ton of backers. So who are the people being negative? Is it just not people who collect this line? Is it Black Series people? Is it just loud people in general? Like, what is it?
I could be all of that. I noticed now, I think this is why I kind of stopped doing this on Toy Anxiety, where I go try to create a rift between Black Series and TVC collectors, because now I feel like more than ever there is one. And
it's real.
And
it is a very real thing.
It has gotten way more vocal, like on Yak Face, like on Instagram, all that, like anytime, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's always the people that are like, when are we going to get that for TVC? When are we going to get this for Black Series? It's like, I don't know what to do, man. Like, just
I mean, if you're a TVC collector, if you look at the last couple of years of the vintage collection, as vocal as those collectors are, and if you ever tune in for sad comments on Tuesday nights, you would think that they haven't released a vintage collection figure in decades. But if you look at the landscape, I know we can nitpick and we could say, where's the Bad Batch and things like that. But
yes, between
the Razor Crest and the Ghost, and now this HasLab, and, sure, it would be nice to have more figures more regularly, but I think TVC collectors are sitting pretty right now, and if this is successful, I think it's going to continue to be a line that Hasbro puts a lot of power behind.
I hope so. And again, too, like, we don't know what happens, like, with clients behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff as well. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of intergalactic politics that happen in there too, so don't.
Of course there are.
Who knows? But it's just like, but you're right. I think, like,
have I ever told you the story of Disney's licensing program?
Yeah, nice. But no, it's like, it's hard to say. Like, obviously, I think the people that are buying this are TVC collectors.
Sure.
There has been a very large vocal group who's been wanting the Cantina as a HasLab.
Mm-hmm.
And even that had me going like, oh, I don't know if that would ever happen, just because there's also been just as much of a vocal group, like been asking since like, oh gosh, it feels like years of like, where's that Death Star playset? That was even before HasLabs existed.
Oh yeah.
And people were like, where's that Death Star? That
if they ever put out the Death Star playset, that is going to be an interesting day, because there's going to be like a huge contingent of people who've been screaming at the top of their lungs for that thing their entire adult life, and then they're going to go, why does it cost so much?
Yeah. It's going to be, well, and I still think this HasLab as well, because it's modular. I think because people have been asking for a modular Death Star, and I got a feeling this, and I could be completely wrong too. This could be just what it is, but I have a feeling too, maybe this is a like feeling out, do people like this kind of setup for a play set, and does this open the door for a modular Death Star?
Yeah, I think this HasLab appeals to all sorts of different kinds of collectors, and we could get bogged down with price points and why didn't they do this and why didn't they do that, but that's not what tonight's about. Tonight is about saying we've got this HasLab coming. It is a giant cantina. It is one of the most recognizable pieces of or one of the most recognizable locations in all of Star Wars. Obviously, OG trilogy, A New Hope, Mos Eisley Cantina. It doesn't get more iconic than that. It's been used in The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and everything else. So an iconic property, literally Star Wars, and also just the property that the bar sits on, iconic right there on Tatooine, used in all of the new versions of Star Wars. So super excited about it. Before we go further, we do have a super chat we have to acknowledge from Matt Bush. $9.99 cash for Ryan to buy Ewoks for next year's confirmed village.
You got it.
I'm on it.
I'm on it. That's next. Yeah.
Thank you, new YouTube member Deep Space Niner. We appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
So, okay, Ryan, where do you want to start, man?
Well, I want to start off by just showing off what I did right now for my collection before this even started. So, Power of the Force 2 released a paper play sets, like cardboard dioramas. You fold them out. Right. They do fit on shelves really well, and I think just for what it was, I liked it. As well as I carved out the cardboard bar and I replaced it with the plastic ones that came with figures, which we'll get into on where all those parts came from. Okay. And some of these Cantina members also came with tables and like other stands, and of course, my favorite thing, Hasbro's favorite thing, cups. I am so stoked. So stoked. So I just want to give everyone just a quick I just quickly did a quick video tour. Oh, cool. This is what mine's looking like so far. And this is all a mix of TVC, Power of the Force, Power of the Jedi, Saga Collection, 30th anniversary.
This looks great already.
Right. You name it. Right. That's and I'm still missing like 3 more Cantina figures. Okay. So even while missing the 3, this is still, this is still a lot.
Yeah. Will you pause it right there real quick? I want to ask a couple questions.
Okay.
So, first of all, we don't always get close-ups of your collection, so this is a real treat. For collectors that are hardcore TVC collectors who, there's different versions. There's people who are like, I think there's a lot of TVC collectors who might be willing to mix in like, Saga collection or Legacy collection or whatever, because those are more articulated figures. But there is a contingent of Star Wars fans who are like, 5 POA Power of the Force figures do not belong with my TVC figures. Where do you stand on that?
Well, clearly I do not care. I will if that character, the 2 right in the center there, Mr. McBlue and British Astronaut, right? Like those 2 are
official names.
I'm using like old school Kenner style names. Right. Those 2 are Power of the Jedi. Okay. Right? And to me, these blend right in with just everybody else.
Looks great.
The Cantina Band is that Cantina Band collection set that Hasbro Pulse put out last year. And a lot of these are also like anniversary figures. There's a couple TVCs in here. You know, like there's a Wolfman in the back wall, right?
Oh, dude,
He's
I'm
Power of the Force.
considering what's the new Kids Focus line that's at Walmart right now?
Now I can't remember what it's called.
Epic Heroes? Is that
Epic
what they are?
Heroes. Yeah, that's right.
Whatever they are. There's about 20 stormtroopers sitting at my Walmart right now at like, $8 a piece. And I was like, might start army building some stormtroopers.
Why the heck not? Right?
Right.
Why the heck not? And it's the, but that's where I started here with my collection, just straight up like that. And I was like, but let's go. Do we want to start going through it? Do we want to?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's dive in. So basically, well, first of all, core characters that are just, if you're a Star Wars collector worth your salt, you should already have a New Hope Luke.
Yep.
R2, C-3PO, Obi-Wan.
Hello
Han Solo. You should already have a Greedo. If you're buying this HasLab and hopes hitting 11,000 to get a Greedo, come on. And maybe a couple stormtroopers, maybe a sand trooper, maybe a dewback. I mean, there's like probably Chewbacca.
Right. I didn't include a lot of the stuff that is outside of the cantina. But there is like, again, if you like, because they have that exterior door.
Right.
Like they did two different style dewbacks. They did the Power of the Force, did the special edition style dewback.
Right.
And then the Saga collection did one that's more, that looks closer to what it looked like in the original trilogy. So you've got your options. Power of the Force also did Rontos.
Yep.
Right. So that came out. And then, of course, there's multiple, again, Power of the Force. I think there's a Saga one and a vintage collection version of the Luke's Landspeeder.
Okay.
So if you want to park that outside there too, like I said, there's so much. Like this is a lot. When people talk about like, oh, I want it for the world building. This is it, folks.
This is the world building. People say that, but I think it's just something they like to say. This is the world building. Super chat from Davey Sockrocker. All 3.75 goes with all 3.75. Put G.I. Joe and the new Ghostbusters figures in there. They all work. All right, there you go.
There it is. Yep.
There you go. All right. Abby just walked by. I think she says hi. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
All right, so let's dig in.
Let's dig in. So we're going to start with the guy you just said. We're going to start off with Greedo. Okay. Again, thank you to My Toy Box app for all these screen grabs.
Great app. Must have for Star Wars collectors.
Yes. So again, if you want to be able to keep track of what you need, what you have, this is a great app to have because it is constantly updating. So with every fan first, every reveal, a couple days, not even, the app is already updated with what's there. So
and I feel like listen, this is such a public service because what we're about to do is drive up the value of all of these figures.
So while you're doing this, I suggest going on eBay or brianstoys.com or Big Bad Toy Store, wherever you need to go for your Star Wars collecting needs.
Yep.
This is it. But this is the first TVC, right? Saga collection Greedo. So I believe this was like 2014 this one came out.
Right.
So
this is kind of the from a historical standpoint, Saga collection was it a precursor to TVC or was this the line that after TVC died off and then they brought it back?
No, this is the precursor. Okay. So they did like a Luke, a Pilot Luke, a Princess Leia, the Tusken Raider. They did a few of them.
Gotcha.
Right. And it was like oh, wow, look at this. It's like it's a vintage retro card. And they came in these plastic bubbles as well for protection so that you can protect. Right. So it's pretty cool. So they came out with this Greedo. These are parts of the bar that I was using to build my cantina for when I did for the display I showed earlier. Right. And this is another Greedo, which I am certain is the same Greedo in the TVC package.
All right.
Right. This is, and again, here we go. Original Trilogy Collection Greedo. The infamous Power of the Force 2 Greedo from the first wave. And this is the Comtech ones from 1999. Greedo, this is the one behind the vest. He has the bullet wound or the blaster wound.
Gotcha.
Right. So these are your Greedos. And again, too, like you don't
lots of good Greedos there.
Lots of good Greedos. I do agree with that. And the cool thing about all this too, like you can actually kind of build a really good Cantina crowd on a budget if you need to. Like that Power of the Force 2 Greedo. Is he the greatest Greedo? Probably not. Is he $5? He sure is. Right. So I mean,
and even the other ones aren't super expensive.
Even the other ones aren't super expensive.
So even if this doesn't get to 11,000, you get the updated Greedo, you could go back and get your. And there's a vintage collection Greedo that exists already. There has to be. So
yeah, and there's the and of course there's the one coming with the HasLab if that goal is reached, right? And again, that's a good Greedo. I don't care what anyone says. Like they really did.
Now the first one you showed had like a looked like a soft goods vest.
Yes, that is a really soft, cool. Which is and rare. It's weird because we don't usually like for these other characters we don't really get a lot of soft goods.
Soft goods.
Cool. We're gonna go right into Jawas. What I didn't realize until rewatching the trilogy, I was like, hey, wait a second. There actually are no Jawas in the Cantina.
But they're lurking.
Yeah, but why would they need to be in the Cantina? There's no droids to steal. But exactly. They are hanging out. They are hanging outside the door.
Okay.
There's like 3 of them just kind of sitting there chilling. So again, if you want just these little droids and stuff to fill the front area to create a crowd, in front of your Cantina. These are them. God, remember when you used to get 2 Jawas for the price of 1? God.
I like that little Black Series set. So for historical context, Vintage Collection went away. Then Black Series
Junior.
That's where the origin of Black Series Junior was. But I kind of like. There's all sorts of different Jawas out there. Even the Power of the Force ones. Those first ones you showed are really cool. You get 2 of them.
You know what? These are the ones I still display with my Cantina. I still like them. I when I see Jawas, I usually buy them. I guess I'm secretly, here's a confession. I guess I've been secretly army building Jawas.
I think it's really fun for Star Wars collectors, and hopefully people watch this and get inspired and go, man, collecting should be fun. And if they don't have the exact character or figure out in Vintage Collection, like it probably exists and probably looks decent enough to be at least a placeholder, if not a permanent fixture.
Yeah, I think these ones look good. Even I don't think I have them in here, but there was like even Clone Wars style versions of Jawas.
Yep.
That also looked really, really good. And again,
or you could even get the I guess those off-world Jawas. I guess those weren't Tatooine Jawas from The Mandalorian. All right. Well, there's still Jawas. So.
But there's still Jawas. I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, it's your playset. Put what you want there.
Exactly.
Right? Doesn't really matter. Right? Here's one with a Gonk droid. Love it.
Oh, hell yeah. I might buy that tonight.
There's the one from Obi-Wan. If you want some extra stuff. All right. So here's where we start to get into like 2 spectrums of like crazy expensive to $2 at the toy show.
Okay, so this is Ponda Baba?
Ponda Baba, the Walrus Man. The TVC one, I don't think, this one is expensive. Like it for whatever reason, this one is expensive. And
I'll track prices on eBay while we go.
You're gonna track the prices down. So it's like and again, this is a great figure. I think the last time I saw this figure, I think it was in the 3 digits. The last time I saw this one, it's probably going to go up for even more at this point. This one here, and this is going to be your $2 one. This is going to be your Power of the Force one. This one came out in both the orange card and green card.
Okay.
This one here as well. This one came with the bar, the sections of the bar. Again, this is what I was using, and then that was it. I think we've only got the 3 I was able to find.
So there's a TVC Ponda Baba from 2011 in package on eBay for $100.
There it is, right?
A lot of money.
That's about right.
There's one for 80. So, but I feel like, listen, those prices aren't coming down. So, unless Hasbro puts out a new one and then everybody goes, way to ruin the value of my toy.
Couldn't you have like painted them blue? I don't know. Actually, it would be kind of fun if they did a re-release of this in the Kenner colors. I wouldn't be upset.
Super chat from David Cabal. He says, "Thank you for doing the Lord's work. More videos like this. Thank you."
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
case, go buy yourself a Star Wars. Exactly.
Yes, please, everyone. Everyone, go buy yourself a Star Wars. Then we got his best friend, Dr. Evanson. He doesn't like you. It's this dude here. So he also came with bar pieces.
This was released around Attack of the Clones time.
Yeah, so this would have been. You can always tell by the packaging. So these came out around Attack of the Clones. They were still, they were pretty smart to be always releasing original trilogy stuff at the same time as the prequels. They knew where their bread and butter was. But he also got a TVC figure as well. Also, not cheap. He also goes pretty expensive. But it's again, here's hoping that maybe both will get a re-release. When the HasLab is funded, I could see these guys getting pipeline, especially if they're just going to be straight. They've done straight up re-releases before with Clone Wars figures, like the Clone Wars style Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. So I could definitely see these two quite possibly getting a re-release.
There's two on eBay. There's one in package for $200. Then there's one for $40. And the
buy it now, Craig.
The listing says rare HasLab Cantina loose.
Oh, it's a Lucy.
It's loose.
Well. Buy it now, Craig.
Oh, this is good advice. Tony Johnson. The Black Series version of the Ponda Baba was cheap. Right. So same figure.
Okay.
There you go. Good.
Nice.
Good call.
Good. Thank you. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some that I missed. So if you guys see ones in the chat that I missed,
whatever. This is already one of the best videos of all time.
This is another classic Cantina alien, the Hammerhead, Momo Anedon. He came with like a little drink stand and drink and everything else. I love the Hammerhead, Craig. Craig, how do you feel about the Hammerhead?
I mean, it's just classic Star Wars. You got to have a Hammerhead. It harkens back to the original Kenner line, and it's great. I don't own it. Maybe I will tonight.
It's great. And again, they came out with multiples of him just because of the classic nature of them. Again, bar pieces. I love that they did this when they did this. So so again, if this thing doesn't get backed, but you still want a Cantina, I highly suggest grab as many of these bar pieces as you can.
We're going to build our own.
We're going to do what I did. Just build your own. And then, and of course, Power of the Force. And then we go into, we'll go right into the Cantina band. This was an exclusive. I believe this was Star Wars. There used to be a Star Wars shop, folks. There used to be StarWarsShop.com.
Okay.
You could, Craig, could buy toys, clothing, cardboard standees, posters, books, soundtracks, anything you wanted, like rare prints, like art prints of Star Wars.
It was like Hasbro Pulse before Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah, but it was like always had a catalog in the back of like Star Wars Insider. Amazing. So this is one of those exclusives. This is I think it was like the Star Wars Club exclusive figure. So you got one Cantina band member, but all the instruments. So I guess you had to try to get multiples. But he will get a re-release. We'll get to that one in a second. This is the most recent release. This one came out last year. Start checking if you haven't started checking all the stores to see who's got any left, they're probably sold out by now. It's been a week.
I'm thinking about maybe picking that up like right now because I think that's gonna be like an $800 set.
Yeah, it's gonna. This one's gonna go, and it's a great set. And again, if anyone was here earlier and saw my video of my collection, this was one of my favorite things. And I actually bought an extra Figurin Dan because he came out single for
Right.
TVC as well, and I put that one up with the band, with the Max Rebo band, the special edition version.
So the
There it is.
TVC, what did it retail for? Do you remember?
70, 80,
Yeah,
I think. I want to say.
The TVC one is up there in the $200 price range right now. But I don't know if you're going to show. There is other versions.
There is other versions. So there was this version. This was a Disney Park exclusive. They had 5 different Cantina band members that created the stage. So this is where people are starting to get like that. This is where the Bernstein Bears thing, like where it's like,
this is where the stage begins.
Yeah, this is where the stage begins. Like, where's the stage? And I believe, like, even in today's stream, they put up a video and they were kind of like, hey, the Cantina band's not even in the establishing. Well, actually, I'll get into that too.
They're like, they're on the floor. What floor?
Yeah, what floor? And we're gonna get into the floor as well, because I'm gonna help you out with some floor stuff as well as soon as we go through all the figures. But this here did come with a stage, and press the button on the stage, plays the Cantina band song. And I think
cool.
It is pretty cool. And I think this is what people think of when they were like, how come it doesn't have a stage? Why doesn't it play the song? So if you do want a stage and you do want it to play the song, track down these figures. These are going to be the ones to get. But yes, we got a super chat from Deep Space Niner. Craig, do you want to give that a read?
Yeah, thank you, Deep Space Niner. Says, I'm pretty sure the Figuring Dan was a Star Wars Fan Club exclusive, as the Comtac her bartender figure was a Star Wars Fan Club exclusive. I think it's a great figure. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get to
we got some smart fans tonight.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for helping out and, piping in and stuff too, because this is great. Piping in, that's another one of Figuring Dan's songs.
Piping in.
So this is another set that came out, a commemorative tin collection. How fun is that?
Oh, it's listen, anytime they put a collectible in tin, I'm in. And I'm in.
Right? Exactly. This is something they need to bring back so I could use these tins for cookies. Right? That's what I need.
For jizz cookies.
Right? And you notice again, another exclusive edition. I think that anytime they've done the band, they've almost always been exclusives, which has got to be such a pain in the ass.
That's funny. Of
course. Like, why would you want
At least they're consistent.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's great. And there's the word he was talking about earlier as well. So those are the ones that I could find for the Cantina band. May the odds be ever in your favor. And again, there's options too. So if you don't want to pay the astronomical price for the big 7-pack, the full collection, there are other options. It'll be a smaller band. I highly suggest if you're going to fork over the money, get the ones with the stage.
I bet they re-release that. I bet they do a re-release of the band.
I could see that happening.
Yeah,
I could totally see that happening. Why the hell not? You've already got them.
A chance,
right? Yeah. Here's Wooer. I think this is the only figure he ever got. Came with the droid detector unit that goes on the side. I put mine in the Cantina, and it's funny he got a Comtech because I think he only says one thing. We don't serve their kind here. But he's a great figure as well. So again, just to put these options up there, I know he comes with the HasLab, but let's say you're like me and you're going to get a little like your mom spaghetti, palms are sweaty about opening up those TVC exclusives.
Well, right. Exactly. Because this we should acknowledge that this is one of the figures that comes with the HasLab if it funds.
Right. And same with the Greedo as well, if they reach that goal. And you might not necessarily want to open them because I know I get that way. I haven't opened up any of the those HasLab figures that have been carded.
Right.
I don't have it in me. There's been times where I'm like, it's just a toy, just do it. And then I hold the bubble and I go cry in the shower and eat a pizza. It's brutal.
Starfake says Warher is in the Cantina bar set 2 repainted with a darker brown tunic.
Oh, yes, he is. Correct. I just don't think I was able to find a photo of that. But you're correct. He is there. So there are multiple options.
Couple options.
Yes. And again, I think this is a great figure too. If you just need something to set in your barn, you don't want to open that one up. Here's an option for you, right? I think they did. There it is, right there. See,
There
I
it
did
is.
find it.
That's cool. That's a cool set. Hey, real quick, little chime in. If you guys are enjoying this, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you really like YHS and Toy Anxiety content, make sure you head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/HasLab. For as little as $5 a month, you unlock 6 years of bonus audio content with more announcements about that coming very soon. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, this is a cool set.
These are always cool. The Build-A-Bar sets are amazing. And you're probably wondering, did they only do straight pieces? We'll get there.
I was wondering that.
We got Long Snoot, Gorinden,
Okay.
right? Long Snoot. He's that Imperial spy. I know you only see him outside, but you know what? I kind of figure it's one of those things too. If you want to do some more world building, he had to see
Absolutely.
something. So clearly he was in the bar if he saw something. So I do have him as part of that. Like, you need him in the bar. This one's really good. The Saga Collection one.
Okay.
Right. I think this is a really nice figure. I like the background on this one too, of like the troopers following him. Like,
yeah.
Goddamn snitch. Here's again, Power of the Force 3-pack Cantina
aliens.
Right. And again, this is where we see the Nabran Leeds, who's also part of the HasLab as well. Right. Takil, which is Snaggletooth. And I just want to make sure I say this right and not like a woman's body part. Labria. so it's a devil dude.
You can call him Labia if you.
Yeah, I could call him. Yeah, thanks, Craig. Yeah, all right. It's okay.
Allowed. It's Friday. It's allowed.
Right. So these are some of the earlier like big Cantina packs that they had.
But just perspective here.
Figures.
How crazy is it though? You know, when people have such a people who are into 90s Power of the Force have such a fond memory of that time. I mean, Star Wars was done in action figures for about a decade, came back and just went hard. Imagine what it was like being a Star Wars fan in 1996 and just being like, they're putting out everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome. It
is pretty cool. Actually, I'm going to say it's Uncle Dino because for some reason I'm just more of a Flintstones fan. It could be Uncle Dino. Wooer says no blasters as well. That's correct.
God, he's such a...
God, chew up the scene. Why don't you? This was another exclusive that came out. Again, anyone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe this was also one of those like fan club, like Star Wars fan club or Star Wars store exclusives. This is the only way to get Muftak, who is the big furry white dude. He was also in the photos, because I believe this is the only version of him they made. I haven't been able to find another. And Cabe came out in another 2-pack as well, which we'll get into. And these at this time, I remember when these came out, I did get these. And I still think these figures are great. These two.
That's cool. Those are great.
When these came out, I think they're great toys. And here's the other Cantina Showdown.
This is a pretty famous set.
It's pretty inexpensive. It's probably my least favorite Obi-Wan figure ever made.
You can just look how small his head is even from here.
Yeah, and his
even from the comfort of my own home.
And the sculpted robes and the oddly placed hands. It was weird. But the other two figures are fine. The other two figures, I'll be honest, they're pretty big. Like, they do stand a little bigger for whatever reason. But I mean, here they are. If you need options, you can't find these figures. I'm just throwing these out there. These are an option.
Cool.
And just like Justin Nicolosi saying, or no, hang on, sorry. Seth is delirious. Love that set, right? Because we're gonna look at this too, and sometimes we're gonna feel nostalgic about this stuff.
This is possibly the most important Star Wars toy video ever made.
Thank you, Craig. Here's another multi-pack that came out. This is during the early days of TVC. As you can see from the sticker, it is a Target exclusive. Yep. So if you want a TVC style Snaggletooth, you can put your Boba Fett and Tusken Raider, your Sand People. If you want all of them in your bar, go for it. But it's just another good Snaggletooth. I think it's actually pretty good. I think this was also like 2014. That's 10 years ago. It's a 10-year-old figure now.
I'm trying to think, does Boba Fett have a place at the cantina during A New Hope? I guess not, because he doesn't get introduced till Empire Strikes Back. I've seen Star Wars.
But the special edition, they added him with that Jabba the Hutt scene.
Oh, right.
Right. He walks by, looks at the screen. Everybody cheers, and he walks away.
That would be a cool stretch goal if they put out the original Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, like the cut
the
scene?
Actor, yeah.
The deleted scene, Jabba the Hutt. That'd be kind of... Do you know what my idea was for... I'll get into it. We'll get into it when we talk about the stretch goals. Here's another Cantina set. Look at this. 3 pieces of the bar, folks.
Yep.
Another Pondo Baba. But what makes this one extra special is it comes with a blue Snaggletooth. That rare, ridiculously rare blue Snaggletooth from the original collection. Yeah. And this is the only modern blue Snaggletooth they came out with as well. And this set is also expensive because of Snaggletooth and blue. You look at the Snaggletooth, you're probably like, really? That's horrible. But guess what? It's expensive.
Dude, when Snaggletooth puts on blue, you're paying some money.
It's true. Not only they're always, he's like that. He's that figure they always want to keep rare, which is why I was surprised Blue Snaggletooth was not part of the stretch goals.
Right. Yeah. Somehow people would have gotten mad for some reason.
Oh, dude. I would look. I love Greedo, but if they put Blue Snaggletooth in place of Greedo in the stretch goals, like just to see people be like, you're putting Konica Sisters and Blue Snaggletooth.
I get why Greedo's in there, because they probably we have to have at least one iconic character from the Cantina to include with the set. So I get it.
I get it. No, I get it too. I totally get it. But man, Blue Snaggletooth as a stretch goal would have been just wild.
Right.
Here's another one of those 3-packs, another Wooer. Look at that. So again, it's that same one.
With every one of these sets you show, I'm realizing they've already put out a Cantina.
Yeah. Right. They did, right? And that's why that's the one I'm using right now. And again, there's the good doctor, and there's that Mantis. So that was one way you could get the Mantis, I believe, at first. Okay. This set's also expensive for whatever. Both of these big Cantina sets, they're both pretty expensive. And then this is the other way to get Dr. Mandible, right?
Okay.
So if you want this character too to even go with if they ever make a Pelimoto that we can put in the Cantina, there's her Sabak playing buddy.
What's the official name down there?
It is Katik Keed Kak.
There it is.
There it is. I can't believe you made me say it.
Katik Keed Kak.
Yeah. But he came with bars, and I think there's a solo one too. There it is. I did have it. So they came out with a solo version as well. So there are 3 versions. I managed to score one. I did manage to score one. Cool. This is it's cool. There are more bugs in the Cantina that are just like, there's one with like a big fly head and stuff, and I was like, God, make those, man. Let's get some of these rolling. Here's our first and only so far of the Wolfman, Sivrak. God, I cannot pronounce any of these names, Craig.
That's okay. No one can.
They're
all made up,
right? Yeah. So here's our first one. This is the one I have in my Cantina. Again, this character fairly cheap, right? So it's pretty easy to get. So again, if you don't get that last stretch goal, this is going to be the only Wolfman you'll probably ever get.
Do you want me to share real quick just so we can all here? Let me see here. I don't know if it's going to boot you out. Can you all see that? So this is the updated version. That is the 17,000 backer stretch goal. So
yeah, this is a great looking toy too. I really hope we get this far. I want that toy.
We all want that.
We all want it. Hang on. There we go.
Is that a different character? Why is it a different name?
I don't No, because it's their, like, if you look at the screen, like there's a freeze frame action slide that comes with it.
Uh-huh.
It's the same werewolf. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Every now and then it's one of those Disney retcons. This wolf man, he's part of the Legend series.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just making that up.
I'm gonna do some research on that.
Yeah, and then when we get Kathleen Kennedy on the show, she can help us out.
She'll know.
She'll know. All right. So this was, I don't even know, what is this? Elors Medak. This is the blue dude. This is the character we first see that will later inspire I want to say Cad Bane. So this is there was two of these guys in the cantina, but they're wearing slightly different outfits. I kind of didn't even realize that there were two. I always knew there was two of them. I should have bought two of these guys because I think this guy's also going to go up in price as well. But this is another great figure. I like the photography they did for the Cantina HasLab. They just took two of them and they're kind of talking to each other in the corner, spilling tea. Great figure. This was a fan's choice figure from that year.
All right, I'm doing some research here. Lax Sivrock was portrayed by a woman. So if there's a lot of Star Wars fans who can get upset about that.
Hey, so was Greedo.
In the original trilogy, which was released, he was added to film during a series of supplemental shots filmed for the Cantina sequence. Okay, so he's part of the added shots. But it says that Ariel Shos is actually a different character. So I don't know, a little confusion there, but we're a little we're going deep on that research, but
we are going deep.
So yeah. There it is.
Cool.
Ricochet says two different characters, one's from special edition. Okay.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Ricochet. Is that the Ricochet?
That's
free
Ricochet.
agent. Free agent Ricochet.
That's WWE Superstar Ricochet. Thank you, Ricochet.
Thank you,
very
Ricochet.
Cool. Good deep dive. All right, what do we got here?
All right, so let's go on to the next one. This is another special edition character, Ketwall. He, oddly enough, comes with two different sets of legs.
Okay.
So one wearing pants and one where he's got robot legs in a diaper. Regardless, this is another figure you can get for fairly cheap. The only version of this character that's been made. This is Ketwall, elephant-looking dude. Kind of fun.
Very cool.
Right? Pretty cool. Here's Bo Sheck, Englishman spacesuit. This is I don't care what anyone says. This is a great toy. The moment that I was like, I put him on, like I got him, put him with my display, and I was like, damn, this dude completes it. For whatever reason, this is one of those guys to get. So if you don't have him, he's fairly inexpensive as well. It might be just that people look at the Power of the Jedi card and go, worth nothing, but he's worth something to me. And I like him. There you
go.
And look at that sly look, him talking to Obi-Wan like, I ain't driving your ass anywhere. So then he goes and talks to Chewbacca instead. Well, lots you could say about him. But this is from the Attack of the Clones era, right? This is, I'm going to say the D is silent, Jazz Per, alien bounty hunter. That's another Cantina alien that you'll see him there just kind of hanging out. Only version of him they've made as well. Again, if you want that completed looking figure, you don't really like this era. These are just characters you can just put in the back and put your favorite characters in the front.
They add flavor to your whole. Otherwise, you're gonna have a Cantina with like 6 figures in it.
Yeah, nobody wants that. And that's why we're doing this. We're doing this to help you, right? This one's not in the Cantina, but this one hangs out. You see it this kind of droid a few times throughout A New Hope. So you see this one at the Sandcrawler, and you see another one that's actually outside of the Cantina as well. So if you want to build stuff for outside the door to go with your Jawas and your Dewbacks and your Rontos, here you go.
And this is R1G4.
R1G4. He looks like a thimble, right? We'll call it that. We'll call it that. Go. I'm trying to be as appropriate as possible.
Since when?
I don't know. I don't know why tonight of all nights, but I am. This is the Star Wars. I believe this is the Star Wars Saga line. Again, these cards, awesome.
Yeah,
I wish they
good
would bring these
packaging.
ones back. So they did about, I think, 4 figures called the Cantina Encounter. This little furry 2-horned dude, Fel- Felty Pern Travag. Gosh, these names. Can't they just be called Dennis? Like, again, more cups. You're always going to get more cups, folks. This is where this is where we live. So
If you didn't think you were getting a lot of cups with the HasLab, boy.
just you wait. You know what? Hang on. We're going to talk about the cups later. We're going to talk about
Later, we're an hour in.
But dude, there's so much more. I'm so sorry. This is going to be bigger than we expected. Another Cantina. This is Mayo. He's the one-eyed dude. You'll see him again. These are all background characters.
Sure.
These were all one-offs. They never got more than one figure. That's where we're at now. This is Donick Jericho. He's the guy smoking the bong at the bar.
Right.
Right. So that's
because of the acolyte, no longer important.
Oh my God! Stop it! Stop it! All right. Here's Labria. Labria. God damn it! Right. Star Wars Saga Collection. This is that devil looking dude.
That's a cool figure though.
He's so good. I love that guy. This is Hem Dazon. This is the alien head that pops up when you first get introduced to Cantina. At least I believe that I'm pretty certain this is the dude. That little
okay, sure, yeah.
What is it? This croissant shaped triangle looking head.
By the way, that packaging's awesome. That's great.
I love this packaging. Saga Collection killed it, man. And it comes with a stand, a stand and a cup. More cups. But you know what I like about these cups from the Saga Collection, Craig, in particular?
What's that?
They got like these colors in them, so it looks like there's a drink inside.
How classy.
It's so good. I live for this. All right. Do you remember those pieces of the bar that were all straight, Craig?
Do I?
Well, guess what? Now we got some curve. We're going to get the end of the bar now. All right.
All right.
So this character here, Milom Oneth, he's got this little snout. He's got little horns, little beady eyes. It's a cute little dude, right? He comes with 1/2 of the curved area of the bar, that whole horseshoe part. So he comes with 1/2 of that. It also comes with a piece of the bar floor you can put the stools on that connect to the other pieces of the straight edge of the bar. Am I making sense?
You're making sense. Seth is Lear says that's a girl.
Oh, and she's beautiful.
We love her almost as much as Labia.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. And then we got he looks like a painting. This is Ellie's Herlo. He loves to drink Merlot. And he comes with the other, and he looks like one of those classic black-eyed aliens, also mixture with the screaming painting, the guy on the bridge.
The scream, right?
Yeah. So he kind of looks like a mixture of that. I do remember
That's
the back
figure.
It's a cool figure. He's a human trafficker, Craig.
Well, that's not cool.
It's a hive of scum and villainy.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I don't.
We have that on Earth. It's called Applebee's.
Oh, jeez. Nice. Okay, so he goes with the other part of the bar. So if you get these two figures, both can be a little bit hard to find, especially complete on card, because they do come with these bar pieces. Right. You'll probably find the bar pieces before you find the figure if you're looking for them loose.
And let's face it, we love Hasbro. They're not putting this figure out anytime soon.
They probably are not. So again, but these are great figures. If you want all that articulation, if you're a joint queen and you need those bending knees and those bending elbows, this is it.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go into the Legacy Collection. This is Pons Limback. He's the guy that looks like a giant brain.
Cool.
Right.
Hey Ryan, I'm gonna take 2 minutes, but keep going.
Yeah, go for it, Craig. Craig's got to go take a poop, and we're just going to keep going forward with this.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
I can't even walk to the bathroom in 2 minutes. My back hurts.
Okay, get the heck out of here.
All right.
Get a bit. All right. All right, folks, it's just you and I now. And so now this 2-pack, this one is another one that goes higher up. It's not quite 100, but it gets close to $100. So this is Trinto Duwaba and Dice. I think that's an Ibagon. So this is like, this guy just looks like another like really zombie looking dude. He's got the shawl over his head, and this is the snake dude that kind of sits with the wolf man from the first one. I think I can't even remember now if he's in the special edition. But yeah, these two characters, another one of them 2-packs. It is it's a bit of it sucks to try to find this one, and this is one of those ones that I am missing. But I think the last time I did see it, this was before I was collecting the patrons. So this would have been years ago at this point. It was already at 80, so it's probably even more now at this point. This is my latest edition that I was able to find just right before the Cantina was announced. This is Lisa Absurlin. She is the pink lady you see with the big giant cranium. She looks like something out of Star Trek. And you know, you blink and you miss her, right? But she is there. She is there. This is one of those other ones. I was lucky enough to grab this one early before this one went up in value, but this one did as well, just like the other two Cantina guys, the Good Doctor and Walrus Man. So he's also up there. He's not quite 200 as well, but I think he goes between like $40-$60 as well. So he's one of those rare TVC collections. And again, he's he's a great figure. I like it. I'm happy to own him. Here is Zutton. This is Snaggletooth. This is his solo TVC release. And I think this one just came out recently, not too long either. Maybe like a couple years ago. So I think he should be easy to find.
Peg warmer.
Peg. Well, wasn't he? Because he came out not too long ago, correct?
Yeah, you can find him pretty easily.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah. Again, if you want something for outside, or if you want this for inside your bar, so let's say you're doing From the Mandalorian.
Okay.
You might need this R5D4 to take your orders.
Top tier droid.
Top tier
R5.
droid.
Fuck yeah.
R5. And guess what, Craig? That's it. That's your checklist.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So let's take a deep breath.
Let's take a deep breath.
First of all, that was unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, dude, I love doing this kind of stuff.
You know, let me give a little my own personal TVC history is all over the place. You know, I was in and I was out, and I had this and I sold this, and I've been pretty out for a while. But I don't know. I'm getting very excited. You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about Steve Evans taking over Star Wars at Hasbro. I think that this Cantina is a step in the right direction. And, you know, he said in that interview with Toy Collector Magazine with our friend Blake, TVC is the collector-focused line. Black Series is it's backwards, right? You would think that the 6-inch line would be the collector's line, but Black Series is somehow the casual line. Now, why does Black Series get full waves of Andor characters and TVC doesn't? I don't know. Listen, I don't work there, but
I don't understand the logic either. And I've now gotten to a point where I'm just like, if I get it, I get it. And here's the other thing I noticed too, Craig, and tell me when I'm wrong. This is my CM Punk moment. Where's the lie?
Me the lie.
Craig?
Yeah. I knew it was going. Pipe bombs. Here we go.
Where's the lie? Now I forgot what I was going to say.
We were talking about it. We were talking.
Oh no, because I was saying So even when they're doing we listen to the fans and we see all your your tournament style voting and all of that, and everyone and when they start doing that and they go, hey, let us know what TVC figures do you want to see. You've got 200 people asking for a different figure. Nobody's on the same page. Nobody. There's not. Maybe the Tonikas are maybe the closest thing to something a majority want. but everyone is going like, well, I need Max Revo in TVC. I need Wrecker in TVC. Then there's me going, I need Carson Teva in TVC. Like nobody's like, I'd love the look collectors. We all like Star Wars is so big and vast now, and and there's a lot that won't be made. There's a lot that probably will still be made, and everybody wants something different. And I think Steve Evans even said on Toy Anxiety, not everyone's going to be happy. Right. And speaking of that whole thing that he said too, Yakface posted this, and it was a quote from Steve Evans on. Steve Evans put this on his stories regarding Wooer and the Tonica sisters. Folks should only consider these available exclusively with the Cantina. Regarding Greedo, Nabran, and I can't pronounce any of these names. I'm not even going to try. Wolfman McGee, right? We need to be unlocked as tiers to be eligible to be released in the future, but we would put them on a different card backs if we did that.
Sure.
There you go. Right.
So what we're saying though is Bartender and Tonica sisters, if they don't get unlocked, you're not going to see them.
Well, if it doesn't get funded, just in general, if it doesn't get funded in general, bang, we're not going to see them.
Hey, another super chat from Deep Space Niner.
Oh, thank you, Deep Space Niner.
Says there is a Power of the Force 2 R5D4. It came out on a red card and then again as a green card back. It's a good figure as well. Has a random missile launcher inside.
Yes, I did forget that because I kind of noticed like, oh wait, R5D4 is in here, and then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, there's that other. There's a few R5D4s, I believe, but that R5D4, that one's the most fun.
I don't know why Hasbro Pulse makes you update your location every time you go to the page, but that's okay.
Right. Hey, Craig, before we get started on this, can I show one more thing?
Oh, yeah, of course. Go for it.
Okay, so when they showed off in the video for, like, the HasLab, and they were like, and people were already kind of, like, going, hey, where's the bar? I'd like to thank TNT Movies on YouTube for letting me pull this. But, like, here's one of the screen grabs.
Okay.
Like, just the opening shot. There is no bar, or there's no bar. There's no stage.
There's no stage.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Hang on. And then we got this. Hopefully we don't get taken down for this. So maybe we'll scroll through.
Yeah.
But if you take a look, this is the opening. You'll see a lot of the characters we saw. Right.
Look at that lighting. That's key for this playset.
Right. You know what I realized too? So here there is no bar. Right. Or there's no bar. I keep saying that. Stage. There is no stage, god dang it. But this guy here that I'm kind of like, you see my mouse kind of wiggling at it?
Yeah.
I don't think he made it into my pile of dudes. But he is like one of those Kardashians, right? Right? They made him as well. And he's also another one that's gotten pretty expensive as well. So I just want to point that out. So I'm sorry I missed that one.
Good call. No.
Good catch, Doel.
Trandoshan. Yeah, there you go.
Trandoshan. Thank you. Starfig. Thank you very much. There's the pink lady that I just got as well. So again, I do want to point out that, like, hey, there was no stage. And I think the stream today as well, they kind of acknowledged it, like, hey, that was a reshoot. Right. So it was never really built into the set. And this one came out too. This is from the latest video game, Outlaws. Okay. Like, you get to go into the Star Wars Cantina, and here it is again. There's that opening shot, right? And you kind of see a stage or like a band area inside one of the cubicles on the side.
Yeah.
I guess if you take a look here on the left side over here, when she goes walking in, you will see like it looks like a band moving around. And it's kind of the same area that Lego Star Wars put it in. Like, you blink and you miss it. You'll see it there. But regardless, that's what they showed off today. Like, hey, you could put the band in one of these like cubby holes.
And I think that's fine. It's still a toy. At the end of the day, you have to have a little bit of liberty for imagination. Even with something like the sail barge, it's not 100% to scale. I think that it's really important as collectors to first of all, buy what you want to buy. Invest in what you want to invest in. And if the stage not being there is enough to keep you from backing it, then so be it. But it's not going to matter to a lot of people, but some it will. And like, this is, if I could have any messaging to any collector, is to just calm down a little bit and try to have some fun with this stuff. I understand. I understand if you want this and it's $500 and you can't afford it. I understand why that's, a bummer. I get it. But that's why we live in a country where you can donate blood, plasma, sperm, and kidneys and all sorts of stuff to buy your toys. Right?
Right. Hang on.
That's horrible advice.
I want to give Roadkiller some props here. Actually, he's not a Trandoshan. And Uncle I'm going to say Dino. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be called Dino, or maybe he does. You can correct me. They're actually.
I want to be. Dino's good.
Dino's good to me too. Yeah, they are actually Sorens, not Trandoshans.
There you go.
Thank you. Like, do you know what I love? I love learning new, deep cut, nerdy shit, Craig.
Yeah. Now the next question I have is, when Anakin was born of the Force. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God! Stop it! Stop it! You know what? Speaking of the floors.
May the floors be with you.
May the floors be with you.
Use the floors, Lou.
People have been going, where's the floor? Well, first off, this is a toy that's meant to not be grounded in one spot.
Right.
They showed it off today, kind of like, I think they did it on purpose.
Most shelves available to the average consumer don't have the depth to support.
Right. So I think that's why they showed it like this, to be like, here's an option for your display.
Right. And I think it's a Billy bookcase.
And I think that's just your standard Billy bookcase. It's just like, hey, like, this is what you can do. This is how you can set things up. Do things as you want. Have fun with it. Don't be glued down to it, which is why they don't have, that's what I feel like. They don't have the floor.
Right. Right.
People were kind of really going off about it. And Yakface came up with a solution. If you want a floor. So again, big shout out to Yakface. He kind of posted this like, hey, here's some shots of the floor.
Yep.
And he's like, you can get these patterned sheets of tiled squares. And you get these at hobby shops to go with your train sets.
Yep.
So you can actually now cut these to make them the size you need for your shelf or your display. And now you're not because could you imagine them doing the floor and being like, well, the floor doesn't fit on the shelves. I can't make it work. I can't make it fit.
I simply can't. I simply can't do it.
I can't. So it's just like, but here's an option. So if you want something, again, more accurate for yourself, you want to give it dirt, give it blood stains, put spilled drinks on there, you can, right? Make it completely your own.
How good would a like a center of your toy room, like big coffee table display with the whole thing set up? God, would that look good?
Right? It would be so good. It would be so good. Hang on, let's see here. And I gotta see if I got anything else.
While you're scrolling, we got a couple super chats.
Let's acknowledge
Davey
them.
says, make your own headcanon, put Max Rebo in the Cantina band, put Mando at the bar. That's half the fun. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I think
time travel.
And here's the cool thing too, like Jabba's palace has so many aliens in it. And so does you could put Sebulba in there. Like, have fun with it. Like, you don't have to be tied down to it. The only reason why I'm showing you this is for people that are like, how do I fill this?
Shimi went a couple times.
100%. Shmi was definitely a regular.
I said her name wrong. Shimi. I'm tired.
Shmi. Yeah. Shmi.
Smee from Hook.
Yeah,
he was probably there.
But Shmi, before Anakin was born, man, she was a regular.
How do you think he was born? Obviously, it wasn't because of the Force. It wasn't special.
Yeah. Oh my God! Would you stop it?
TVC Mac, and what would you like to see released to go with it? Now that's a good question.
Ooh. What would I like to see to go with it? Do you know what I want to see? I want a Disney Parks exclusive
Okay.
section of the bar that you can connect to the rest of the cantina,
Yeah.
and it's the DJ stage for Rex. For
Okay.
DJ Rex.
I actually
That-
am surprised that they didn't
that's-
announce Oga's Cantina as the HasLab.
Oh my god, dude! I would have been all over that though too. I would have been all over it.
Right.
But it like I'm half serious on that. Oh man, what would I want to see? Craig, do you have any ideas of what you'd want to see?
A giant garage hanger for the big Millennium Falcon
That connects to the
that connects to it. Yeah, with little hanger bait. I mean, listen, I love A New Hope. I love Star Wars. They've put out most of it. I mean, what?
There's a few aliens they still haven't made, but I mean, like, I wouldn't know the name of them, and I wouldn't even know how to explain what they look like.
Right.
But there's still a couple they haven't made. Maybe a TVC version of 8D8 so that you can have him as the bartender, or put him with your Book of Boba Fett display if you did that as your display for the Jabba's Palace.
Right.
So maybe that.
Just how about an updated Bantha to put outside?
Why not?
Or we do need a TVC Sandcrawler at some point.
Yes. Yeah,
But
I would love that.
As far as bar stuff goes, I don't know. More ships, more
glasses. More glasses.
Craig
And hang on,
okay.
I do want to defend these glasses because what is it? It comes with 100 glasses, correct?
Yeah.
So if it didn't come with 100 glasses, it wouldn't be enough for some people. I think 100 glasses covers the base of like, here you go. Like, I think that's just them covering their butt. Or
Yeah.
8D8. Yeah, EV99. Thank you. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
There's
This is good too. Fennec Shan definitely got her drink on at the cantina.
yeah.
I agree, Mr. Craig Hoffman.
somebody earlier there was a
yeah,
comment.
Dagobah would be
Let's
good.
see, there was a comment earlier. It said I don't
Yeah, 88's coming with. I got my droids confused. Thank you, Rogue.
There's too many. It is confusing. There's a lot of characters. Somebody earlier asked if we could do this every Friday night.
Oh,
No.
I wish.
But
I wish.
we could do more of this if you guys like it. If this is
Yeah,
something you guys enjoy.
Yeah, if you want us to break down more Star Wars or even just more toy lines of like what you need to kind of help complete your collection or just to help build it. I mean, dude, I'm all for this. I love doing this kind of research, these kind of deep dives. And
Let's talk about the Tonica sisters real quick. Obviously,
yeah,
these are maybe the most requested figures in the hardcore collecting community ever. And it was kind of back and forth on whether or not this was going to be part of this play set, and they did it. Were you surprised?
Well, it's one of those for a couple years now, and I think this started with I'll give the channel a shout out. I think this started with Victoria's Cantina,
Yeah.
and she was really plugging for like the Get the Tonicas Made, and then one of the Tonica actresses, she went on. This is all stuff I had to like find out after because I was like, because I said on Toy Anxiety, I don't think they have the rights, and then people in the chat were like, oh no, they do, and I was like, but if they do, you'd think they'd make them if they're the most requested.
Right.
And then so it was one of those things where it's like tried looking on the internet to find like officialness, like, you know, I want Hasbro to kind of come out and say it because we can say whatever we want on the internet. And so I was just wanting to make sure, and then before I gave they have it, so I was always kind of like suspicious of whether or not that was real, but here they are, so clearly it is, and here they're getting made. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I think normally the studio retains the likeness rights for majority of actors, but you never know that it could have been the kind of thing where they were just like unpaid extras. Like they never signed anything. Like who knows?
Or maybe they just show, or they did get paid, but they didn't sign the paper. You know,
I will say this: I would love if Hasbro. My number one piece of feedback to all of these companies is just more transparency. when possible. I would love if Hasbro or Lucas, whoever, could come out and say, hey, we've wanted to do these figures for a long time. Here's why we couldn't. Here's why we can now. I think that goodwill goes a long way, but
Yeah, like even like I liked what they did today. Like even that stream of like, hey, let's answer some questions.
yeah.
And I feel like, the fact that they did all the shelf stuff, they kind of said you can have your stuff look like this. Like, look how good it looks with Bo-Katan and Mando. Like trying to show more recent toys
Right.
with it as well. I thought that was actually kind of fun, but at the same time, it's like here I am answering the floor question. You know what I mean? Like it's
Hey,
like,
I'll tell you what. It has to be killing Lucasfilm for Hasbro to be going forward with original trilogy HasLabs during a new media release.
oh my god. Okay,
You just
Can I
know it
say
is
this?
like that's not even a criticism. That is a fact.
do you know what my biggest pet peeve right now is with the marketing of just Star Wars in general?
Sure.
It's that line, which is not even English. It doesn't even sound like a sentence that is made by human beings. Based off entertainment.
Yep.
That's not a sentence. Could we not? Like it just brings me back to that, like the failure of the failure of the Star Wars hotel video of like these aren't words. This is jargon.
I know. It's like
Right?
corporate speak.
Yeah, like you're talking to a bunch. Like, look, Craig and I both clearly still live in our mother's basement.
Obviously,
right? And you know, so it's just we want to be talked to as such, and just call it what it is. It's based off. Just say it's screen accurate to the movie, of what you see in the movie. Just that's all they had to say. That's all they had to say, right? So yeah, roadkill. No, that's everything. Oh God, it's a thread.
Well, I mean, if you listen, well, I know we're having some fun. If you look back at the Riva lightsaber,
right?
That was 100% dictated and mandated by Lucasfilm. They said, "Hey, Hasbro, your next HasLab is going to be a Black Series lightsaber based on this new character, which we are putting a lot of marketing money behind as the new big bad in the Star Wars universe for the Obi-Wan show." And then the reaction to that character wasn't.
Well, it's very similar to what we're getting now with Acolyte.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think everything on back. It's just tough. It's just really tough. I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole.
Well, I think that's where the Ghost succeeded, because it was something a lot of us knew from Rebels. It was a ship that we all really. I shouldn't speak for everyone when I say all, but I mean clearly a good chunk of fans, because it did fund right away. The Ghost did really well, and I love that ship. I love Rebels, but they did make it specific that they had to put it under the Ahsoka banner, right? Because that was the current entertainment at the time, and they, but they still, everything about it is Rebels,
right?
Like it came with the mural figures. Everything about it was Rebels. There's like, if it was really Ahsoka, one of the stretch goals would have been Jason, right?
Right. Jason, my favorite Star Wars character, Jason.
Well, hey, you know what? If they made him, I'd buy him.
Of course.
I loved Ahsoka. I would absolutely buy that.
Well, as we start to wind down here, like we can, let's go to the chat for a few questions.
Hang on, Craig, you got one. Jay Solo is asking, Craig, are you buying the Acolyte Retro Wave? I think he's yelling 100%. That. I think he's, or your cap locks is on.
I really like the. Hold on one second. Abby's
hang on. While he's answering Abby, I will answer, even though you didn't ask me. I am getting those. I love Retro Collection. I think they're great.
Me too. I love the Retro Collection. I love all of the retro style figures. I will buy those regardless. It would have to be something like I've watched all 3 episodes of The Acolyte. I like it. I don't I'm not like over the moon about it, but to be honest, I haven't been over the moon about a lot of things in my life. Some Star Wars I'm over the moon about. Mandalorian season 1 and 2, absolutely love. Season 3, not as much, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it, and I'm still going to buy the toys. Oh, I think I'm doing the Jenny Nicholson cadence.
Yeah.
That's the way I say it.
Yeah.
I want to like it.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys haven't watched the video about the absolute abysmal failure of the Galactic Star Cruiser, if you have 4 hours to kill, it is a great watch. We all enjoyed it.
It's so good. I want to point this one out too. Ricochet Rick. Star Wars fans are starved for vehicles these days for the TVC line. I agree. They keep kind of re-releasing the same ATST Walker, kind of over and over. But you're right. I will agree. I think there's a lot there that they could have made from Mando. I think Creatures is starving too. We could use more Creatures.
Yeah, I've kind of changed my tune on vehicles a little bit, just because from a Space Danger point of view, it's really hard to display all this stuff. But I did want to make a display recommendation, if I could, if we have a second. Sure.
Do you have a second? I think that's more important. Like, I have a second.
I've got a second. I really do.
Okay.
So, I'm an IKEA guy. Always have been. Lots of good options there. Oh shit. I might have fucked myself up. I think they discontinued one of my favorite yeah, there were damn. There is a tiered glass shelving system called Vitzjo. Oh, here we go. It exists in some form. Let me share the screen. And it's really great for larger play sets and for vehicles and stuff like that. It looks something like, and then you can get one that's like twice the size of this. It's glass shelves, and really, really good for like a sail barge or a cantina or something where you need kind of the breadth of a lot of space. So if you have an IKEA near you, try to see if they have any Vitzjos in stock, but they have them in different kind of configurations. I've got one that's like double the size of this, because it's hard. Like if you just have a Billy bookcase, or if you just have a standard bookcase from Walmart or IKEA or whatever, it's you're going to have to display this modularly. You won't have a wide space for it.
Yep, I will be, but I already have ideas in my head what I want to do, and I can't wait. So I'm really hoping this does get backed. Davey Sockrocker is asking me, is there any Star Wars TVC figure that Ryan wouldn't buy? That's a great question. I don't know. They'd have to make something that, I don't know. I don't know if there's.
Well, I want to give Ryan Doell a compliment. I want to say something about your fandom of Star Wars. It is unrelenting. It is not critical. You are not above criticism of anything in your life, including me.
Yeah.
But Ryan will call you out if he doesn't like the way things are going. But you truly have a deep, passionate love for Star Wars, and there has not been a single piece of Star Wars content in our friendship that you have completely not. There's things that you liked more than others, but you really, it takes a lot for you to be critical of Star Wars because you just love it so much.
Well, that, and I keep my mouth kind of shut about the stuff that doesn't click with me, because I feel like there's so much of that out there, and I don't need to be in the sea of mosquitoes. Right. And there's no point. So there's so much Star Wars that I do love and that I do enjoy that I can just focus on that. Right. And it's easy. It's easy for me. Because there is stuff that I'm always just like, oh, that wasn't what I was hoping it would be. But then I don't know. Then there's something that comes out, or I don't know. My head canon might kick in, and I just be like, it would have been cool. And then I start liking it just based on my own BS, I guess.
Well, I think that, when you have kind of a different kind of perspective and you can be a little bit more like, hey, it's never going to be 1981 again, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But let's give this stuff a fair shake. Clone Wars had a great run. Rebels had a great run. There's stuff to find that you can like in all of these shows, and more than anything, it leads to more toys, or it's supposed to.
Right.
There's some Acolyte toys. There's like retros and then one figure.
They did both twins for TVC, so those have been announced and Saul.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
And I'm like, hey, that's more. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say.
Right.
I'm not going to compare to who we haven't gotten that I think we should have by now. Road Killer pointing out, yes, Blurg 2025. Yeah, that was pipelined. Right. So it's just like,
hey, Ryan, are you going to go for a few more minutes?
Yeah, I'm just answering some questions here in the chat.
Okay,
and then
I'll be right back. 2 minutes.
And then we're gonna settle up here.
We're gonna settle up. Do we owe somebody money?
Yeah, we're gonna saddle up.
Saddle up. Okay,
Saddle up and yeah, all right. The Cantina patron toy you missed was Kitlin. Nope, he's in there. I got him in there. He is there. But I was kind of hoping at one point maybe we just get Dr. Mandible. Right, he is there. All right, I'm just gonna keep going, just chatting with the chat. Right, hang on. Right, David Cabal, do you do D12s? I do. I have them in another room. Therefore, that's where I keep like more of my like very like my retro, my vintage stuff that I had as a kid that I still have. So that it gets like they get a special place. Right, that's what happens there. Right here, Ricochet. Rick, I take a giant droid from the book of Boba Fett in TVC in a sec. Same here. Same here. I would actually even take like a Rancor with a saddle as well. Like let's get that going, right? David Cabal, Ryan shelves need to be inspected. I love how he displayed his figures. One day I'll make a video. One day. Right? Highly articulated. Dole doesn't need to yuck any yums. You're correct. I don't. Right? It's just I have no energy for it, right? Jason Grusecki, remember Ryan is Canadian, so he's born to be kind. Hey man, we beat America in a war. When America invaded us, we kicked your butt. So we're not always nice when you push us, right? The David Cabal, Jacob Walsh is another one of our hosts here on Toy Anxiety on Tuesday nights. He's passionate about Ewoks. He absolutely is. Right. So, that's kind of it with a lot of, thanks everyone. Thanks all for the nice words in here too. It's very, very nice. You need to acknowledge Kid Kak. She exists. Yes, she exists. We see her. I swear was that not her? But hang on, folks. I am certain people. Craig, I'm being called out. Did I not show the mantis? Well, if you're muted right now, I'll let you get plugged in.
There we go. What's
the
not? Question?
I'm getting called out for not appreciating Khalid Kak. Right? I'm not.
This is our show. No, I thought tonight was, in all honesty, we're ordering food. Abby's like, hey, let's hang out. You're done. That's what she said. She said, you're done. No, she doesn't.
Wow.
Ryan, I thought this was really impressive, and I really like this kind of deep dive format. And I think,
thank you.
I think that we can keep these kind of things going. I'm glad that a lot of people turned out for it.
Thank you everyone for spending your Friday night here. There are plenty of other streams happening on Friday nights. So even if you're catching this on the replay, thank you for making it all through this 1 hour and a half breakdown video of the Cantina.
Yeah, leave a comment if you're watching after the fact. Let us know what you think. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back on Tuesday. And again, also in the comments section, if you want us to do more deep dives like this, whether it's Jabba's Palace, another Star Wars movie, or just another whole franchise in general, I'm pretty sure Craig and I would be happy to do one. So
yeah,
let us know.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of thinking to do tonight about the vintage collection. I'm having a little bit of a this has made me want to go harder than I ever have before. So hopefully that's the effect it had on everybody. So, all right, well, you can catch more from Toy Anxiety next Tuesday. And Gotham City Tonight will return as well next week. YHS podcast, always a million things going on. And we will be covering the latest in toys and action figures. Ryan, anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me, because this was super fun for me, and I'm very excited about this cantina. That's it. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah. Have a great Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Have a great Friday. David Cabal wants me to do a deep dive on Captain Planet.
Oh, please do.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Who's the big guy with